Hey, and welcome to Map 6 of No Rest for the Living. This is Inferno of Blood. So there are 11 secrets on this map. That's the first one there. Not much in there except some little armor bonuses. You've got to be really careful coming out into this like red canyon here, because as soon as you shoot your gun, a bunch of enemies will start moving towards you. There's also several bony boys that we need to be aware of, because they can hit us pretty hard when we don't have any armor. You'll notice the BFG in the far distance on the left. We actually need to hit 3 switches in the level in order to access that, and those are actually quite well hidden. It's one thing I really love about No Rest for the Living. The secrets are so detailed and deep, and you actually have to really go looking to find all of them. So we'll take down the Hell Knight there. So I'm actually going to break sequence here a bit, because I'm actually going to drop down here and come into this secret area here. This is all completely optional, but in service of getting that BFG that we talked about earlier, you actually need to come in here. So I'm going to grab the super shotgun here. Don't think I'm going to be able to hit those guys. So there's a bit of a puzzle here. You've got to hit the switches to raise and lower the platforms to create like a stepping stones for you to get up where the bony boys are there. It's not that difficult, but the first time I did this, it actually got pretty annoying, just because obviously I was a bit rusty with my Doom back when I played this for the first time. Out of ammo there, lovely. Just got to be careful of that bony boy on the far side of the room. As you can see, that switch lowers the platform there, and the one on the right actually, well, raises it. Excuse me. So right now we don't really have the weapons to deal with the bony boys up there, but as you can see, we've managed to create the steps there, grab the berserk pack, and now we've got a bunch of enemies here that we have to deal with. So another thing about this level, there's a whole bunch of monsters that we're going to be dealing with. So what this does, this actually raises and lowers the other platform. So as you can see, it actually moves the one next to the one we were just doing. So if you actually want to complete the puzzle for this room, you've got to sort of make use of both sets of switches, which is pretty cool in my opinion. As you can see, you've got to make a set of steps that go in the other direction. Just going to let the rockets fly past me there. So once we hit this switch here, it opens up the wall over there, which you can clearly see. And yeah, so this is the first of these switches that we need to hit. So when you hit these switches, they basically act as keys in order for you to get towards that BFG. We're going to carefully make our way across here. So you can see there, that's the way you get up there. Those are the symbols of the switches that we need to hit, and we'll be looking for those as we go through the level here. So now we've got to clear all these enemies in this little canyon here. And again, something I really like about No Rest for the Living, it's just the level of detail in kind of these little like canyons and these little cliff faces here. It's not boring to look at, even though it's kind of all one texture. There's only really use of 1 or 2 textures there. You can't get that blue key, by the way, unless I imagine there's some speedy way to get it, but it's triggered to go up as soon as you kind of come around that corner there. I just love how, like, even though it's all like one color, which is mainly red, it doesn't look boring. It's not boring to look at. So I'm going to get rid of these bony boys here. As you can see, we're alerting all the enemies in this area, which is probably not the best for our long-term health. We're not doing too hot in the ammo department, so I'm just going to make sure we take our time here. Grab the ammo there. Oof, that Mancubus caught me a bit there. You can come up here, but you can't actually get through that door there because it's only really for the yellow key, and we won't be getting that for a few minutes yet. So instead, what we're going to do, we're going to let the Mancubus shoot itself out. we're just going to take out all these enemies here. There's no reason why we can't. So we take down all these enemies, and got to be careful here because there's an archvile just around the corner here. Now, we want to be careful with the archviles because there's a few of them in this level. There's a secret behind this wall as well. If they get into like big bodies of enemies, they can really cause all kinds of chaos, and you really don't want that. You don't want them bringing back all the enemies you've just taken down. Yeah, it's just, as you can see, that's where you need to go with the yellow key. So we're going to be heading inside this keep here, and this keep is pretty nasty if you're kind of not ready for it, because there's a lot of enemies in here and they will chew through your ammo pretty quickly. So we're going to take down the Baron of Hell here. Just got to be a bit careful because we've not got any armor, so anything, if he hits us, it's going to hurt like hell. So just want to make sure we sort that out. So there's quite a few enemies in this room here. It doesn't look like it right now, but once we start hitting the switches there, things are going to start getting a bit messy in here. So first thing I'm going to do is lure these guys back out. You can see the supercharge on the left there. We'll be grabbing that before we leave this room, because it is technically a secret as well. So as you can see, there's 4 switches here, and oh, there's a chain gunner here. So if we look through this little gap here, you can actually see into a part of the level we're not going to be seeing into for a minute or two. These walls will come down and a bunch of enemies are going to sort of flood this area. So this is going to turn very nasty very quickly in a second. When you hit these switches, you can see the walls start coming down. So yeah, we're out of here. When faced with enemies like this, I don't really want to be in the room like that, especially with no armor. The fact that we have no armor means we can probably take 1 or 2 decent hits before being put on pretty much next to no health. Double kill, nice. So yeah, as you can see, my ammo count is not doing too hot here either. So I'm having to manage my ammo pretty effectively here, if that's what you want to say I'm doing. So we'll take down the final Hell Knight here. So as we're kind of going around here, the walls come down here. You can go in either side. Now when you go out here, make sure not to drop down. Oh wait, I need to hit this switch here. Yep, that opens the door. Make sure not to drop down when you grab the key. Turn around and hit the switch there, because it allows you to grab the supercharge that we were talking about earlier on. So this here is kind of what I was talking about earlier. We really don't want him waking that Baron back up. Okay, so he's gone for the Hell Knight. That's even better. So these have all come from that area I was discussing earlier on, where the wall sort of came down. Having the supercharge here is very nice. Going to use the chain gun to mow down these enemies. So in a second we're going to be heading to hit the second of those switches that we were talking about earlier. That'll let us get to that BFG. We're going to have to punch out this Hell Knight here. Nice. Did a good job there. So if you hit here on the wall, you actually get a secret. Oh, I want to take care of these guys before they... Oh wow, there's another one. This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of enemies who flood into that area in the middle, and if you're not prepared for it, it actually can be quite annoying. Oh wow. Oh wow, okay, that hurts. So I'm going to head out here because I think the plasma rifle... There's a plasma rifle out here. And I want to grab it because we're kind of running down on health here. Oh, I thought there was a plasma out here. maybe I was wrong. Oh, where's the plasma? Maybe I'm misremembering, but I always remember having to come out here. Where is the plasma rifle? Oh, there it is. There it is. It's right next to the Hell Knight there. I'm just going to grab this and... yeah, so grabbing the plasma rifle here is very advantageous. Obviously it can deal with the hordes of enemies. Gotta quickly get rid of these guys because I don't want them following me through the level. As you can see, what this level likes to do, it likes to layer the enemy's approach. So a lot of these enemies will only come at you once you've kind of triggered a switch further down the level, and it sort of refloods the level. But as you can see, this is a secret here. We'll grab the armor, and then there's another secret here. If you hit the wall here, this actually takes you to the second switch that we'll be needing to get to the BFG. So now we just need one more, and that's inside the yellow door. Oh, hello. So I'm actually going to come out here and just get rid of these guys. Well, I've got the plasma ammo to spare. So as you can see, all these symbols here have actually changed as well. So we only need to find this last one, which is hopefully what's going to happen. I just want to get rid of this bony boy because the last thing I need is him hitting me later on. So finally going to head inside this yellow door here, and as you can see there's a bunch of lost souls hanging around inside of here. So a lot of this plasma ammo is going to be used on these guys just to make sure that they don't cause too much trouble. So there's quite a few pain elementals in this room as well, which is not welcome. I think there's more. I think we're going to see more. There we go. They're actually heading right towards me. So I don't like to leave pain elementals kind of floating, because you leave them out, they'll just put more lost souls into the level and it's ammo wasted. So even though we lost quite a bit of health and we had to blow through all our cell ammo there, that's, in my opinion, is a good shout. That blue door there is actually completely optional. The exit is in a blue door, but that one there takes you to a secret, which we'll be exploring later on. But obviously we're going to grab the rocket launcher here. I'm going to use the rocket launcher because I've been collecting rockets all level and I haven't really been able to make use of them. So you can see here there's a little like ravine. Ah, okay, there's a lot of Caco demons around there. Little Caco demon party. So we're going to head outside here. This takes us up top of the cliff, so we can grab the blue key finally, which was raised earlier on. I think when we grab that, a bunch of enemies are going to flood the final part of the level. Oh, I think that's what that noise was. Where are the bony boys coming from? They must be beneath me. They must be down here. Yes, they are. So I want to get rid of these guys as quickly as possible. We got a lot of enemies here suddenly. See what I mean about this level having very tight spaces with lots of monsters in it? It just kind of creates a claustrophobic atmosphere that is very interesting. If you're into kind of tight encounters and levels where like your ammo count is constantly a risk factor, then you know this is a good level for you. So we're going to come back in here, I'm going to run into this hole here. I think there's a rad suit. Yes, there is. And then when we run over the other side, we'll actually see the final switch that lets us grab the BFG. But as you can see, this one's actually got a little trap in it with the chain gunners. Nice. So now we've actually lowered all the switches, we can actually run for the BFG here, which is what I'm going to go for. Felt I had to grab that med pack there. So if you run up here, you can finally grab the BFG. But as you can see, there's a bunch of enemies kind of in the final part of that level there. And we're going to run in here because, like I said, this is a completely optional area. So we have to deal with all the enemies that are now flooding into the level. So let's take out, okay, that room's a bit crazy for me. So I haven't done a great job of managing my ammunition in this level because we've ended up just having the super shotgun here, which ideally we'd want rockets or cells. We'll take these two down. Take down the meatball and his little minions. So you can see this is the cavern where they all kind of emerged from. I assume that came down when we picked up the blue key, because they're kind of protecting the exits. So let's just quickly check in here. Are there any more enemies dotted about? I don't think there are. Again, this is a very beautiful level. Like, I love the architecture used. I love the way that there are choke points. There's like wide open spaces like this. And there's just a lot of interesting little arenas for you to battle in here against the enemies. It's a really cool level, Inferno of Blood. It's one of those levels that it takes a while. It's very kind of combat heavy, but I don't think that's a negative. In fact, I think this is a really great Doom 2 level. I think it makes good use of the enemies. There's a lot of well thought out spaces, and there's a lot of great secrets to go hunting for as well. You really can't get bored on this level. There's just so much happening and there's so much to go looking for. This is probably one of my favourites No Rest for the Living levels. Definitely one I recommend trying if you haven't already. What did you think of this level?